Shut up and sit down.
I think you're gonna have a good Christmas, all right?
You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa.
For Christmas is a big red bicycle. Give me one with a great big seat and fenders and a bell.
You are listening to the Dialed Podcast with Matt Lee Grand,
Sir Ian Gibson,
Lance Hapler, and Jake Von Turing. Merry happy Christmas holidays to all, and to all a good bike ride.
All I want is to ride along with you.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way!
Gonna take my big red bike out for a ride.
Oh.
Hi, and welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I'm Jake Hunter, Lance Friggin'
Merry freaking Christmas.
Ooh, this is our Christmas edition.
It's the Christmas edition.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Insert Jingle Bell song here.
It's probably playing in the background
Maybe.
as you listen.
To his right, the one and only, Sir Ian Gibson.
Hallo, servus, guten Tag, jeden. Oh, wait a minute, I'm the British guy. Oh, sorry.
Not German.
Know your role.
I'm
Know your
taking
role.
German lessons.
Are you?
Yeah, so, sorry.
That's exciting.
Hello.
Last and least, Matt LeGrand.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys look fan-frickin-tastic.
Wait.
Better than me. You're looking better than me.
I'm
Not
in my,
feeling it.
I'm in my frat boy shorts.
You know what's funny
Like
is
a-
I had no idea that you were in shorts because I came in and I sat at the table and he's sitting at the table and like all of a sudden, Lance showing some leg. Showing some leg
These
here.
are a little shorter than I normally wear, but, you know,
It's working.
squats and stuff. So
Have you been lifting?
I've been lifting.
Okay. Can we do? Are we on back pedal?
Matt, backpedal.
the only thing that I've been doing, Lance, is lifting.
That's it.
That's it. I've been lifting every morning.
What kind of weights you stacking?
I've been trying to do. Okay, so pink padded weights. Have you seen those?
The pink padded weights.
Yeah, so
Fantastic.
they usually don't label the weight on that because they don't want to embarrass other people, right? That are not using the pink padded weights. At least that's my take on it. I've been trying to do like push exercises one day. The next day I'll do like pull type exercises, and then the next day I do legs,
All
and
right.
then just roll through that
Very
over and
good.
over and over and over again. I'm like 2 weeks in. It's fine, but I'm also it's just sad because it's like, have I been running much? Man, like once or twice a week. Biking much? Once or twice a week on Zwift, which I don't even count, and no swimming. So I've just been doing. Like, I
Wait, you
felt like-
don't count Swift riding?
as biking?
Yeah.
I count it as biking when I do because that's like the only biking I do.
Yeah.
Do you,
And then I need to gear up
Absolutely.
because January 1st is
What's a
it's
what,
coming
right?
up,
it's coming up.
and
Do
I'm going
you-
to get on the 100
The
whatever
100-day
train,
challenge.
100 day challenge.
Do you lift at the high school?
No, yes, and
Or-
no. When I'm coaching, I've been coaching a lot, which is ridiculous because I should
Still.
be done. But so we have lifting twice a week, and so I'll go in there and I'll be in the weight room, so I might as well do some stuff. Like when when they're doing squats or whatever, then I'll just do some stuff, but not a lot. Or I'll do core with the kids because it's kind of fun to just do stuff with them,
Sure.
encourage them to do it. But
And you're not embarrassed by the pink padded weights with the kids around. Yeah.
Right. I don't want them to be embarrassed with how much I'm putting up, Lance. It's the other way around.
My guess is that cross country runners aren't throwing a lot of weight around.
These are big boys. Well, now we're on track winter conditioning, so
Okay.
there are some kids that can lift that are in there, which is cool. And then the swimming thing, I got to get back in the water. I've been coaching swimming, but not swimming.
I think
It's sad.
I think
I get
Lance
it.
was more looking for some key segue to
No.
say how much he's lifting.
Listen,
beefcake.
Out of the four people sitting at this table, Jake is by far
I know.
the strongest person
I know.
at this table.
He can like look at a weight, sniff it, and be like, "Oh, I
and
guess."
do 2 reps and gain 5 pounds of muscle.
And he can be like, "Oh, I guess we're gonna lift big today,
And he's on-
400 on the bench."
And he's on the injured reserve the next day.
I haven't hurt myself yet. I think that's something.
That's good.
But I haven't been pushing hard. I mean, I don't even know what weights I lift. Like I should be recording that stuff so that I like incrementally increase. And I'm just like, here, let's do this. This will be pretty good for today. Like this will work. And I'm just like, I just lift and I'm like trying to get to the point where I'm like, oh, I'll be sore tomorrow. That's good. Like that's where I need to be. Don't need to do any more. That's it.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. I feel like I'm slacking. We'll get on the 100-day wagon. And other listeners of the podcast can also join us January 1st.
We will do a 100-day ride challenge.
You'll
we
partake until you don't, or you just kind of naturally do it.
I'm at like day 135 at the moment
with no
challenge,
without trying to be a part of it.
Of course, that hasn't been an hour every day. There's been a couple of 30-minute days in there.
I did see one day where you went for like a 10-mile, or maybe it was even less than that, like a 10-mile bike ride. You're wearing a t-shirt and you were like, this was probably this week, and you were like just cruising around, like looking at boats or looking at.
That's correct.
It was like one nice weather day. And
It was a 60-degree day. It was 60 degrees at sunset, and I'm like, I'm gonna ride down to the harbor.
Time.
And I got all the way to the harbor, and it started raining on me. I'm in a t-shirt. I was wearing pants, but yes.
So let's segue right into your back pedal because you're already on it.
Oh,
you were wearing pants.
I was wearing.
You were not wearing bike shorts.
I'm not wearing pants at the moment, however. This is the first year in my cycling career where I've actually consistently lifted weights. So I started about 3 weeks ago, going to the gym. I have had issues with lifting weights because I have a fragile back.
Yes.
And
which is probably good for you if you can do it without hurting yourself.
And in years past, I would, go too heavy too soon.
Yeah.
And
pink padded weights, man.
And I would have trouble. And this year I've just gone into it a little bit easier, and I haven't had like a back episode for a couple of years now, which has been
amazing,
positive. Mm-hmm. It's probably because what I'm thinking is I've gotten old enough that everything has gotten stiffer on me, including the discs in my back, and so they don't.
Old age is working for you and not against you.
Yeah, everything's getting stiffer and a little less elastic. And so the discs in my back are not herniating as easy. And so I think that's what it is. I'm just old age.
I like your theory. I'm not sure
not sure if it's true, but I'm going to believe it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I started lifting.
Where do you go to lift?
I go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
It's like 4 minutes from my house, and I do that because my wife had a membership that she wasn't using anymore, so we just swapped it over to me.
Oh, okay.
And so
you can do that. That's nice.
Yeah, and so I can go to the gym. It's really close. I can do. I've been doing a lot of leg work, and I've been doing some upper body stuff too. I'm just trying to see if I can do it and be stronger and faster this year.
I would think that Planet Fitness is pretty reasonably priced. I've been going to Gold's and it's pretty cheap if you're just doing weights. If you start swimming, then it's more expensive. But it's
Planet Fitness for the black membership is $25 a month.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
It's not too bad. I can bring a guest with me every time, and I can go to any location in the country.
Or is that? Are you inviting me to come lift with you?
You want to come with me?
Yeah,
they don't have pink padded weights.
What? How's that place? I think I shut that place down.
Everything's purple though. Everything's purple.
Okay, that's close. I can work with that.
Anyway, so it's been decent for me. I'm giving it a try. Going to see if it helps me this year. See if I can get a little stronger. See if I can increase my durability. That's the whole point in trying to do some weights. So,
what else besides weights have you been doing?
Not much, because I am still riding every day, but it's either Zwift or like Zone 2 stuff outside, so it hasn't been too bad. We did do the ugly sweater Christmas ride.
Yeah.
But I'm going to hold off on talking about that, and I will let Jake talk about that when it's his turn.
We've had what they call an atmospheric river. We're one down. We got another one that we're starting up on right now as we're recording this on Thursday the 18th. Okay. So it's raining hard here, and it rained hard all night last night.
And we're expecting 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain over the next 2 days here in the Portland area. So it's going to be a soaker here for the next couple days. Then we had a windstorm the other night, and so we had widespread power outages all over the Portland area.
They actually canceled school.
Oh, yeah.
They canceled school for us yesterday. I had my kids were so bored yesterday. They were just home, just
because of power outages.
Yep. Yeah, and road closures.
Yeah,
so that was a couple things. They couldn't get stuff to the high school. So
yeah, so we've had all sorts of issues here. Yeah. It's supposed to turn around and get a little bit better over the weekend, but
this is an ideal time to get in your whatever Sprinter van and go somewhere else.
Yes. But I'm not doing
I'm
that
looking
because
at
it's Christmas.
I'm looking at 3 guys with Sprinter vans here.
Last year, me and Ian escaped down to California for 4 or 5 days, but that just didn't happen this year.
That's right.
Yeah.
This time last year.
Yeah.
Any big Christmas plans before you're done with your back pedal?
Nope. I'm in the middle of some real estate transactions, so I have to stick around. And so
Your family will be around and do stuff. I can't remember. I think I might have asked you this already.
My daughter's coming home. My son is not. So I'll have some people coming around, but
it'll be good.
It'll be good. Ian,
how have you been? Well, here's the real question: have you been lifting?
Yes.
what kind of weight you stacking?
Any pink padded weights, or are you broke?
Where it's
manning up. No.
Real man weight.
Legit.
All right.
No, it's been, I want to say it's been a week since I rode my bike outside. I'm feeling grumpy. Right?
Yeah.
It's just due to the aforementioned atmospheric river. It's just not appealing to be out there on the bike right now, Pacific Northwest.
I know you're grumpy because he sent me several mean-spirited, nasty texts this morning. Anyway, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, I go into the gym. I go to Snap Fitness in Gresham, which is a great facility. I still got a membership through my work. Well, I haven't been to work in 2 years now, but
Don't tell him.
I won't tell him.
Quietly, let's see if we can roll this out another 5-10 years.
That's right.
So I go a day to the gym, 2 days not to the gym, and then a day to the gym. So it's like 2 to 3 times a week right now. A lot of leg stuff and all the rest of it. And yeah, I don't know, just that and kind of getting back to the structured stuff on Zwift. Been following Lance freaking Hepler on Strava and realized that if I'm going to hold a candle against him going up Mount Tidy in Tenerife in a few weeks' time, I better get more serious about my lacking.
We've got some big rides coming up.
I got some work to do, dude. My threshold, my power numbers are way down at the moment.
What about just length of ride? How far are some of those rides that you guys are going to do? Like a lot of 60-mile rides, or is there anything really?
Well, Ian, the genius here, he's got us doing 108-mile day one day in T-Day with.
Those are hard this time of year.
12,000
feet of climbing. So there'll
We'll
be
see.
Oh,
there'll
that's
be
a
a
big
there'll
day.
be a
That'll
be the last day,
That'll be a
maybe.
7-hour day while we're there.
if we do that, yeah.
Wow.
I'm just so looking forward to getting out and getting some sunshine and, being out actually riding a proper bike again. Yeah, that's all I got really. Boring.
Jake.
Hey,
Hey.
Hi, Jake.
You get to back pedal.
Jake's been quiet.
I rode a bike last Saturday, and we did the ugly Christmas sweater ride. That was cool.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was great.
The weather, that was like the one day where the weather was actually pretty stinking good.
Yeah.
It's usually not that way for that ride. So
No.
The one team ride in months that I missed it at, I did not have an ugly sweater and I felt like I just couldn't.
We could have loaned you one.
Right, that's what my wife said afterwards. She brought out this beautiful, ugly sweater. I said, you could have put this on.
Yeah, I always bring an extra 3 or 4 because I have them in stock in volume, if you will. And I did hand out all of them, but there was one more left over. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's actually kind of a special one that I had that I only loan it out if I have to, or if it goes to the right person. It would have been a perfect fit for you. And it's actually not an ugly sweater per se. It's an ugly long sleeve Christmas jersey that belonged to Michael Myers. So after he passed, Yolanda gave it to me, and that's just kind of like stays in my closet with all my ugly Christmas sweaters, and I would be happy to put that on people that are deserving. You would have been very deserving. So it was a good day. We had quite a few people show up. What would you say? It was like 35-ish?
Yeah, there was 30 that responded to the Strava invite, and then a few more that came beyond that.
There's a handful more that showed up. So I think we were like somewhere between 35 and 40. Uneventful, meaning there was no issues. I don't think we even had a mechanical, to be honest with you. There's just the normal, getting caught up with some stoplights or stop signs and getting separated, and then certain jokers that like to go sit at the front and go a lot faster that splinter the group. But, that happens. Everybody,
I think that's part of it. Even ugly Christmas sweater rides, that's going to happen, and then they can go afterwards and add a little bit more, which I know they did.
Yeah,
I was scrolling through Strava and I saw Jake Von During on it, and that was just a novelty. It was great to see that.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's novelty. So, anyhow, it was really nice to be on a bike. It was really nice to be around a lot of friends and teammates that I haven't seen in a while, and yeah, it was quite fun. And a lot of people have supported the Bikes for Kids campaign that we've kicked off again. And I barely put it out there, and I feel like we've already raised, I think it's somewhere like now $1,200, and really haven't even like started to push hard on it.
Oh,
yet.
fantastic!
So, yeah, kind of cool.
I made a video and put a link in the video to the GoFundMe as well.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
I need to catch that. I haven't really been on the YouTubes. Yeah, other than that, just trying to keep up with life. There's a lot of life right now. So
Blanket statement:
That happens.
if you ever need footage for anything, you can take my stuff and use it, and not give me credit. I don't care. I don't need I'm not looking for like handout, whatever. Just feel free.
I made a YouTube video and I straight up pirated a section that Matt had done on his video from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I straight up screen copied Matt's.
I could have given you a better copy, and then you could have like. It was weird because you had like it was like black border. It was like
Yes.
oddly
It was oddly plugged in. there.
plugged in there. But just so
Thank you,
know, you can. My stuff is your stuff.
Thank
you can
you,
use
I
it.
appreciate
That is not a blanket statement for anyone listening to the podcast. Only that is a Lance only
That's the
statement,
Lance only rule.
and Jake can have my stuff too. But
yeah, for all those videos I make.
yes.
All right. Other than that, just plugging along. So
Oh yeah.
News on the Dial podcast. Don and Flannel, no pants. And a mic.
I'm not wearing
No
pants,
pants.
right now. No pants.
The song just it works.
what you got, champ?
What's up, champ? We have had some racing in the last couple weeks. In the U.S. here, we had our U.S. Cyclocross National Championships in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It ended up being dry the whole week in Fayetteville, but pretty bitterly cold. So it was dry conditions out there. Our best American right now, Andrew Strohmeyer, chose not to do the national championships. He was the defending champion, but he chose to go to Europe and race Namur. And so he's doing a full UCI series in Europe. And so he skipped the national championships, which opened the door for the person who did one, Eric Bruner. Eric Bruner has raced quite a few times, but he has never won the national championship, so that was kind of good to see. There were lots of names I did not recognize at all in the elite men's field. So, I mean, second place was Ivan Sippy. That's a great name. And third was Brody McDonald. I didn't recognize those names. As far as the elite women, it was won by Lizzie Gonzalez. I believe she's still in college. And second were two sisters. Second and third were two sisters, Catherine Sarkisov and Alyssa Sarkisov. So that was also kind of cool. So names I haven't heard before so it's kind of fresh in cyclocross in the U.S. Across the world, we finally had Matthew Vanderpool line up for a cyclocross race, and he won. But he didn't run away with it by any means. He said after the race that he chose not to like drill it from the start and just try to gap everybody. But I don't know if that's true. It seemed like
maybe this is him getting back into shape.
It could be.
Or maybe this is going to be a more interesting cyclocross season to watch.
Honestly, I don't think he gives a rip about cyclocross, but he's the defending world champion.
Yeah.
And so he is going to do the world championships again because they're going to be in...
How many times has he won it? Is
5?
Is this the record that he's going to...
It might be.
Or tie the record?
Yeah,
I feel like
something like
Sven
that.
Nys or something. I don't remember.
So he's going to race the world championship again. So he's going to do like 10 or 12 races to prep for that and then do the world championships. So we did show up, but Thibaut Nice gave him a run for the money. Michael Van Tauernhout gave him a run for the money. The race in Namur is pretty unique with the cobbled climbs and difficult steep descents and deep, difficult run-ups. So the course was actually pretty fun to watch. Andrew Strohmeyer, whom I just mentioned from the U.S., was in the lead for a while and had 3 or 4 fantastic laps before the lights went out for him. He actually shows some promise. He might get some decent results.
Did he fade or did he make a mistake?
He faded.
Gotcha.
Have you been watching this while on Strava?
Yes.
Or
on
not Strava,
Zwift.
on Zwift? You know what I meant.
Yeah.
I think Namur is my favorite cyclocross race to watch. It's
Pretty
such
cool.
a great course. I mean, every time they drop down that hill and reach that cobble climb, it just looks so brutal. That, you know, the amount of power they must be putting out lap after lap to get up those cobbles. And it looks like it's 10, 12, 14% on slippery cobbles.
On slippery cobbles.
And then the rest of it never really eases up after that.
It's up and down and up and down.
Crazy.
Difficult stuff. So
yeah,
it was a pretty fun race to watch. So Vanderpool won. We'll see what happens. Everybody is anxious to see where this goes with Vanderpool because Van Aert is going to jump in 7 or 8 races. Those two will race each other about 5 times, I think, so we'll see if
we have about a week before things get really, they start racing like every day, basically. Or
curse period kind of starts like
some week,
this Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
And goes for like 10 days. And there's like 9 races in 10 days or 11 days. And so it's called the cursed period and it's all around Belgium and the Netherlands. And so it
should be fun.
They're fun races to watch. Lots of people show up. Most of the world tour teams are all in the Costa Brava right now in southern Spain near Calpe. That's where I wish I was right now. The weather is great. The riding is fantastic in southern Spain.
Soon enough.
So all those... I mention this because Van Aert has been down there with most are having team training camps. So
he's training with a team camp, but he's gonna
go jump in some cyclocross races because it really was his first love, and he wants to go do some races. So,
okay.
but Van Aert is not planning on doing the World Championships. So
he's just gonna race a couple races.
He's gonna race 5 or 6 races. Yeah, I'm sure he gets paid to go do them. So
yeah,
it's not.
I'm sure appearance fees are probably good.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And he's got Visma team to back him up.
He's got to pay that lease. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of MVP with his fancy cars.
Yeah, MVP showed up at a practice or something in his Lamborghini.
Yeah.
With his bike attached to the roof and a Christmas tree attached to the roof of his Lamborghini. Freaking brilliant. Just
nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so Champ out.
That's
about it. Women's Racers won by Lucinda Brand. She is coming on strong. She's going through some family stuff. Her grandmother is dying, I believe, and so but she's still showing up at these races, and she's been very emotional. It's been very kind of heartwarming to watch. You think of some of these cyclists as just robots. They're so strong, and Lucinda Brand could be classified as one of those, but no, she's showing up and she's won several races in a row. So Champ really out. All right, that's it.
I did it with nothing but my own blood, sweat, and tears, and extra blood.
People don't. Yeah. This is a sport with literally hundreds of dollars on the line and dozens of fans. The stakes are medium.
Come on. How do you beat a man on drugs if you're not on drugs?
Wait, did you just admit to being on drugs?
The EPO Chain Mail. Send us a text with your questions. Forward this podcast to 15 people, and you'll lose 10 pounds overnight without even trying.
You've got mail.
I just felt like playing that. We didn't have any chainmail, so
people. But this is your note. This is your reminder to send us a message on the podcast. Like usually, as you're clicking the podcast, it'll say like you can text us.
Yeah, text us, and we don't get any of your information. We just get the last 4 digits, I think, of what you texted us, your phone number that you texted us from, and it tells us usually, I think, what city or state you're sending it from. But they're super cool. I love the messages and the feedback and the questions and all that fun stuff that we get from the listeners. So send it. I'd be really curious to hear people's thoughts on like what they want us to maybe talk about this coming year.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Fun. But yeah, I don't know. Is this us or is this the listeners?
Dodgy wankers.
It's usually us.
I think
Okay,
that's
I
us.
think I agree.
It's
So
circular.
it's like these dodgy wankers don't ever put out podcasts consistently anymore. So I'm not going to send them no freaking chain mail crap. So now, seriously though, thank you to everybody who sent us those this year. They were awesome. We used them, I think, just about all of them, and I'm looking forward to a bunch more next year.
Indeed.
Cool. All right, moving on. It's the podcast about nothing, right?
The podcast.
These guys are like, what are we talking about?
We-
Well, I had some ideas. I mean, it is kind of our Christmas special, and my goal is to get this out before Christmas, even though it's a week away?
It's 5 days away.
Wait, is it really 5 days?
It's a week today.
No.
Wait.
Today's 18th.
It's a week.
When is Christmas? Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
So-
Today's Thursday.
So 6 days. Yeah.
Anyway,
6 days.
It'll be out, I promise. It's been a good year, and I just wanted to ask you guys a few questions around that. But I wanted to start off with this question:
Thursday.
What is going to be in your stocking this year? Cycling or
Coal.
not?
Coal. 100% coal will be in there. I'm surprised I was the first one to say that because all of us were thinking. We were all thinking it.
I don't know, but what are you hoping is in there? How about that?
Okay.
What do you?
I hope it's stacked with like 100 carbs an hour. It's all nutrition is what I
Get
think.
your nutrition on.
Get my nutrition on. That maybe that's in the form of Sour Patch Kids and Haribo.
Haribo, yeah. What nutrition are you driving on right now? What's going in the Hepler pie hole these days?
Actually, my two favorites at the moment are the SIS gels,
Right. Yep.
the 40-gram gels.
Mm-hmm.
They have another gel that has 100 calories in it, but it's only like 12 carbs. And then they have a gel that's a 40 carb gel.
Yeah.
So the SIS gels that are 40 carbs per packet.
Mm-hmm.
So they make a strawberry lime one and an orange one that I really like. So those are the two things that I like. And then the other gel is Never Second. Never Second
Oh, I don't know about that.
is another type of gel, and those are, I think they're 50 carbs per packet.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be able to stack your carbs pretty good in a race or long ride situation to do that. So
Anything going in the bottle?
yeah, I usually put Scratch in my bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I put my electrolytes and Scratch in a bottle, and I don't usually stack a lot of carbs or calories in the bottle because I'm trying to get them through the gels.
Cool.
It's a little tricky. All these pros are doing, 140
Right.
or 160 grams per hour. Dude,
crazy.
I have not trained my gut to do more.
Can you do 100?
I can't quite do 100.
Okay.
And it's probably one of the main reasons why I fall apart at hour 4.
Yeah, that's it. It has nothing to do with any.
That's got to be it.
That's it.
It doesn't have to do with durability or anything like that.
Hour 4 does make sense, right? Like that's right where calorically we're all done.
Correct. Yeah.
But the pros they're able to put out more kilojoules than we are. So
True.
arguably not arguably, their fueling needs are greater.
Right.
They're working harder, even though you are working at your capacity as hard as you can if it's a 3-4 hour race, the pros are burning through more energy than you are.
Yeah.
So they need that
That's true.
160
But I also think this is a trend in the past, I'm going to say 5 to 10 years that pros are moving to more like higher caloric per hour than they have in the past.
But the calories per hour that they're burning through is astronomical.
That's always been the case. And
Yeah.
now my only point is that I think that I don't think it's necessarily the science has caught up, but I also think that like the recognition that we can do more. Because I really feel like the old value used to be like 100 calories per hour. Like that was like the go-to. If you can do that, but now it's like you got to push more.
Now it's more than that.
And they don't bonk really in the big races as much.
I can't do more than 100 grams an hour and not start to feel gross.
Does your stomach just feel like, see, yeah, 100% the same way.
Yeah.
Like it just feels crummy.
It's like I don't get like diarrhea or throw up, but my stomach just turns on me.
It just hurts.
It's like, oh man, I do not want to take. It's like I'm just not processing it very well. So if I'm going at a certain effort level for many, many hours, I can't quite do more than 100 grams an hour. And I know that's a thing that you can train your gut to do. I just haven't successfully done that.
I think some of it too, and one of the reasons I like science and sport is like when you put a whole bunch of stuff in your gut, like water comes into your gut as well. And it's just like crampy kind of feeling.
Right.
And I think maybe like this, like if you can have something that has more liquid to it, or you're like you're doing with your scratch and stuff like that, and you're coming in with some liquids in addition to it.
Yeah.
It should help,
It
right?
should help.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, just let him crap his pants.
Or just crap my pants.
I also sometimes feel like solid real foods for some reason kind of fit better, like, I don't know, seem to fill me up, kind of like a filling kind of, I don't know. Whereas it's like when it's just sugar.
I think the new generation of gels, though, they've got the formula down better. So there's the sugar source you're getting is a little easier on you. They have the ratio of fructose and dextrose or whatever else.
Yeah.
Better, so you're able to tolerate it more. But I'm the same. I like that sort of 40 grams of carb packaging. Like I use the Moritins 160s, which are just a good size gel, and 2 of those an hour, maybe 3 if I can stomach it. But also they're a little more solid, so they don't make a mess all over your hands, and they don't get sticky, and they're just easier to get in.
Pretty expensive though, yeah.
They are expensive.
What are they, like $3 or $4 each?
I think the feed has them for like $50 for a pack of 12. I want to say they're not cheap.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the Martin stuff.
I only keep them for races, basically.
Yeah.
That is not the only problem. The texture, I cannot do.
You can't handle it?
I do not.
Oh, I prefer it.
It's too thick.
Yeah.
It's too thick. And so it's hard for me to feel like I have to chew it to get it down, and man, it just doesn't sit on my palate very well. It's just personal preference, you know.
At least it goes in your mouth and not all down your hands.
Okay, I cannot tell you how freaking angry I get when I squeeze a gel in and it gets on my fingers, and then suddenly my fingers are sticky, my shifter is sticky, the hoods are sticky. I'm like, I squirt water on everything to try to. I keep licking my fingers to get the stickiness off. It doesn't get better.
There's that guy licking his hood over there, riding his bike down the road.
That's right.
What the hell is he doing?
That's right. I'm just licking my hoods. So yeah. So it putting that stuff in very carefully so I don't get it on my fingers is I try to consciously do, but sometimes race brain, I'm just getting it in, and then I'm pissed for 10 minutes afterwards because it's all over my
At least 10 minutes.
You know, I probably should have watched this a little bit more in detail. I told myself I'd come back to it, and I just haven't yet, but it was intriguing to me. I've seen quite a few different people making their own nutritional supplements from scratch, if you will, so that they can have full control over things like the ingredients, the consistency, and all. The only thing that I think would be problematic is like, what are you putting that in to take it with you? Exactly, especially if we're talking about a gel. But
I feel like there's some company that makes a package that's like really blank, and it's like has the I can't remember the name of it. Someone's going to be chiming in or listening to the podcast, and they're like, yeah, you can buy these packages that you can put your own stuff in.
Yeah, you can buy little flasks.
Exactly.
They're good.
They don't seem like they're as readily available now. I think like Goo, and there's a couple other ones that used to sell like a flask.
Right.
And I've actually looked around because we've had a few people that have asked, and I can usually work with them direct, and I'm not finding them. But that's a good solid option. Would you all ever consider making your own supplements, or is that just too much of a pain in the butt?
That's too much of a pain for me. Yeah. I know you can buy tubs of fructose and sucrose and do your own mixing and make your own drink mix. I know people who do that, but I'm not friggin' doing that. Yeah,
too much.
They are good. Going back though, they're good stocking stuffers, though, right?
They are.
Order me anything from the feed or all of those places, and not too expensive, and something you don't really like to. I don't like to keep spending money on.
No. The Dial Cycling Lab has almost all this stuff online as well.
The Dial Cycling Lab?
Yeah.
I've heard of that place.
Let me be clear with the Science and Sport isotonic gels. The normal ones are 22 grams of carbs per serving. So it's okay, but not great. They just make a 40-gram of carbs per serving. There's two different ones.
That's the one that's the beta fuel, not one of the.
Yes.
Okay. It's
the beta fuel is in the black package,
Yep.
and the other ones are in the silver package. I've had this conversation with lots of people, including teammates. Grams of carbohydrate is different than calories. They're not the same thing. I've had people thinking, "Oh, I'm getting in 100 grams of carbohydrates on every one of these servings," and you look at it, and I'm like, "No, it's 100 calories, and it's only 22 grams of carbohydrates. It's not quite the same
just
thing."
misreading the label?
Yes.
Like
Or not realizing that those two things are different. Calories are different than grams of carbohydrate.
Well, yeah, a gram of carbohydrate is going to be 4 calories, so just start doing math.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. But a lot of people if you're just getting into this and you keep hearing all this stuff from pros that are getting in 120, 140 grams of carbohydrate per hour, that's different than calories per hour.
And you also need to look at what kind of carbohydrate you're putting in your body as well. I mean, there's a lot of things that fall under that are a carbohydrate, and there's varying qualities. There's different kinds of sweeteners that you need to take into consideration, things that might be a little bit more problematic than others, and things that are going to influence taste because they want you to like it, but it's not necessarily the best option for you. So you just got to kind of play with that. And that's kind of where my brain goes when I think of maybe I should consider making these, but I don't know. I don't ride bikes anymore. So
you are looking for another job, aren't you? Like you kind of sitting around on your hands a lot, just bored.
No, no, he's not.
You're just bored.
Yeah.
So we'll come up with some stuff for you.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe start another nutrition business. Maybe
not for nothing. We have a teammate, more in the triathlon arena, but works in the supplement industry and knows inside and out and everything about it, and has been doing it for a very long time. And I've had the most fascinating conversations with him about just like that whole industry in general, and really how it boils down to these different companies. It's not like they've got some proprietary blend. They almost all source their resources from the same, just very small handful of suppliers.
Oh, wow.
And they do tinker with the formulation, i.e. the amounts of each thing that go in there, and then how they flavor it. But really at the end of the day, it becomes a big marketing deal. And these are companies that are marketing companies that are like disguised as like a nutritional company. Now, some of them go out there with the best intentions, and I'm not trying to take that away from them, but on the whole, the stuff that you're buying a lot of times is just marketing. And a lot of people fail to actually go and look at the labels and see what's actually being going in there. And they're more concerned about some of the buzzwords that they'll see, the packaging, coloring, and then just the branding that has happened with that company over the course of time. And they just automatically say, that's good for me. It's not always the case.
Yeah.
But, I digress. It just is what it is.
Yeah. I think I've had a couple friends that have done their own nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, buy maltodextrin, and like they keep it pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they like, because they can kind of tweak it to what they want.
Yeah.
And then Ari Clow, who's one of Evan Price's buddies, triathlon buddies, makes his own. But then there's another guy that I did triathlon with a long time ago. He was just like, it's just so much cheaper. Much cheaper.
It is. It's just, it really kind of just rubs me the wrong way sometimes too. That I don't know if you can actually call it this, but there's a lot of what I call deceptive marketing that's built into that, which is kind of unfortunate. So you just have to kind of go in as buyer beware, be skeptical, do your research, and then you can find some good stuff. And not all of them are perfect. And, some of them that you think are great, you'll come to find out that they weren't fully truthful about something. They'll call something natural flavoring, but when you actually have, the chemical breakdown, and they'll say, oh, you're calling this natural flavoring and it's really this, then you're like, oh, that's not all that good for me. I should have.
I think the big brands or the decent sized companies typically do okay. There's some like smaller companies that scare me a little bit, because then I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah. But like Scratch, right? Like I feel like they do a good job with a lot of their stuff that they make.
And that's, for us at the lab, that's kind of like the process that we go through of like, all right, how are we going to vet these things?
Yeah.
What kind of research do we want to do? Do we want to make sure that we're carrying good quality products? And a lot of times, like, all right, well, let's throw something against the wall. And I've done this quite a few times. I'll bring in a product line from a particular brand, and people come in and they'll ask a question about it. I'm like, here, I'll make a deal with you. Take one of the individuals, try it, and all I'm asking in return is that you give me some honest feedback. Do a little bit of research. Tell me how you felt. What are your thoughts on it? And if they come back and you're like, what, that was actually really good, and the research I did shows it's good, and I had good. Okay, that's a positive feedback, and try to get a good sample. And if that's going to work, then we'll lean into it a little bit more, and we'll get a direct relationship going with that vendor and call it good.
Yeah,
and that's typically been how we've
Pretty
gone
good.
through with a lot of the brands that we've carried for the most part. But I don't know. Sorry, that was
That's nutrition talk.
Yeah.
Now, my main nutrition source is the Hoopler's Happy Holidays chocolates, handmade chocolates.
These are Lance's failed attempts at nutrition, and the little droppings were repurposed into the little Hepler turds.
Yeah, they're little Hepler turds. Yeah, I brought Christmas gifts to my podcast partners here. My family makes hand-dipped chocolates.
Huge thanks to the Hepler family for coming together.
I had nothing to do with it
We
whatsoever.
know.
This was my wife and my daughters and my sisters and my mother who did all this. Funny or not, it's the same recipe that my mother has been using since the 50s.
Wow.
My mother has been doing hand-dipped chocolates since 1958 when they lived in Edmonton, Alberta in Canada. So,
Wow.
You don't say, eh?
Yeah.
So to Lance's mom, because she's a listener, longtime listener,
yeah.
I am not going to tell my families about these chocolate, and I'm going to eat all of them.
Ian's already eaten half of his box.
I'm going to just no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ian's in a severe chocolate deficit right now.
Lance must have left us out because we didn't get chocolate. So,
Sorry, I hope they're
gone.
not expecting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What else are you guys hoping is in your stocking? It's coming.
I'm
Christmas.
hoping one of those plug-in USB bicycle pump
Okay,
things.
thank you. All right.
That's what.
Good
that's
call.
what I asked for specifically for my Christmas present. So we'll
the
see
one
if
that
my
I've
wife comes
seen
through
that's
with that.
popular is like Cycle Plus or I can't remember what it's called. The little handheld pump.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons. I
Someone
mean,
needs to have
everybody's
it.
got one out
Yeah.
now, right? And it's
We have been carrying the ones that came out from Silka,
Oh, Soka. Yeah.
and my gosh, have we sold a lot of those things
Keep
over the
selling
last
out.
month? So yeah, it's
We
pretty
keep selling
bonkers.
out.
Just got
Perfect
some
for
more in, and I think
Christmas,
they're already
yeah.
halfway gone. So, but those have been pretty well received because Silka makes good product. But
They
there's a
make
bunch
good
of them out there,
stuff.
and people really quite like them. So
I have the Psych Plus one.
Psych Plus.
Psych
thanks.
Plus. SYCPLUS. They make a bigger one and a smaller one. I have the smaller, more compact one. And
Do you think
I
this
think-
is
brilliant.
Do you think that like it's a decent quality, or because I think a lot of times with pumps, like I feel like there's just certain companies that are going to take the time to like make sure seals are good and they do a good job with the materials that they're.
Yeah.
I think the link I sent my wife was for Topeka. Topeka.
Topeka makes one.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I don't know.
There's
We'll see.
dozens of them on the market.
Doesn't surprise me. Popular
Um,
product. Everyone's gonna.
It's a great.
Come
little-
after it.
It seems like a great way to go. I mean,
I wanted one that was small enough that would fit in my flat kit that I wouldn't have to take any more CO2s or a hand pump anymore. There's a couple of issues though that you have to be aware of. We've all switched to TPU tubes for your spare tubes, right? We're all running tubeless. But if you keep those little very thin TPU tubes,
They packed super tight.
They pack super tight so they don't
can
take up.
overheat them.
Yeah, because the valves on the TPU tubes are plastic; they're not metal, and the little pumps heat up. And so if you're using a little pump and it's directly onto the valve stem, and the valve stem is plastic, you could melt it, and it's not going to save your ride. So that's a little issue. So a lot of the products include like a little extender that will keep it cool enough that you can still use it on a TPU tube.
Ooh, TPU tube. That'd be another good idea.
Yeah, because those are like $30.
Yeah.
$30 for
$30 for a tube.
But those pumps are great. Like I always get like anxiety with my CO2 cartridge set up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
great,
It's like
but
one shot.
one shot, and then
we've
you're
all
like,
been there. Where it's just,
yeah.
We've all been there where we've blown a thing and been like, shit, there goes that CO2.
That's right.
Right.
Like if you blew one and it didn't work for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you're down to hopefully you got another one. That's it then. And then you can't travel with them. You
that's
can't
true,
fly with
that's
them. And they're kind of bad for the environment.
So here's my
So-
question, because I haven't used these. I've had a couple companies reach out to me and offer to send me one, and it's just never happened or whatever. But I think the only question I would have is like, okay, so you power this baby up USB, and then it sits in your flat kit area.
Yep.
I would worry that it would just be
keep going, keep running that thought.
I would be worried that eventually you got to recharge this thing because it sits in the cold
That's
garage, and you've not thought about it at all for 10 rides, and you get out there and you're like, darn it.
Also, generally on a full charge, the little mini ones are only good for 3 or 4 pump ups. If you're topping off something or changing like tire pressure mid-ride, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
But say you're on your mountain bike and you've got a lot of volume of air, it might only pump up the tire twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're unlimited.
Right.
They can run out of battery.
I tell you, between my freaking head unit,
Everything
radar,
needs to be charged.
power meter, front and rear derailleur, you name it. How the chance of running out of one of those batteries on any given ride is going up and up and up.
Ian, I'm sure you have a charging station near your bikes. I mean, I do. That's what I do. I have a spot where
pull everything out, charge it up.
I pull in my bike. Everything comes off my bike. It all gets plugged in,
including this pump.
Well, no, because it's inside my flat kit, so I forget to charge that thing up all the time unless I've used it. If I use it,
then
it doesn't go back in my flat kit. It goes in my pocket, and then I know when I finish the ride, I need to charge this because it's in my pocket. It's
I'm
not in my
that
flat
organized.
kit. You got to think, man. Let's roll.
It's the
with
same
it.
when I'm working on my car. Like I've got these power tools that are rechargeable batteries on them, and I've got like 5 of these batteries all set up on my workbench, and I go to one battery runs out, so I go to change it, and guess what? That's empty as well.
Right, you got to move
because
to the next one.
I should.
My main thing is like if you go 2 months without a flat, which is very feasible.
Yes, especially with tubeless.
And it's just been sitting in your back pouch thingy. It's possible they'll be dead when you pull it out and you need it.
The Psych Plus one that I have holds its charge pretty well.
You know what I think that to all the manufacturers that listen to our podcast, I actually think that a regular, like, I don't know, 2A batteries or something like that would be smart, because then you could leave those loose in your bag or whatever, and then you could plug in the batteries when you need it, and you would know that it's good. As opposed to USB. Everyone likes USB
what about
charging.
Like the likes of maybe SRAM coming out with something that uses the standard SRAM battery?
Yeah, freaking
that could be either inserted, charged, or simply changed out. Right. That would be pretty spectacular.
Pretty cool.
I don't know. Or even coming up with some sort of like adapter that you could click the little SRAM battery into, plug it into that, know that you can
SRAM.
Charge things up.
That would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I've run across one other issue with them because I've bricked one of them already. I've ruined one. You ever notice when you go to top off your tires, your tubeless tires, you open the valve and then you tap on it to make sure that air is flowing, and sealant comes out. This tends to be an issue on tubeless tires that you have a insert in. Sometimes sealant can come out the valve, right? And
gets into your
and I had one of these Psych Plus things where I was putting it on to pump it up, and sealant got like injected into the pump. Yeah, it quit working.
Yeah, that stinks.
So
how are they with like rain and all this stuff?
I think aren't you supposed to like run unless the tire is completely flat, are you not supposed to run the pump first before you set it on the valve? So the pressure's going that.
That would assume that I actually read the directions.
Right.
Is that clearly stated in the directions?
I don't know. I don't know.
No one knows.
I just read it on some product review. You're supposed to do that. It makes sense.
I think based on some of the research I've done on those too, you need to be really careful about the brands that you pick, because a lot of them do just use a lot of plastic bits and bobs in there. And those are going to just wear out faster over the course of time if you're using it somewhat regularly. But I also think that they're kind of subject to that same heat issue that you were talking about. Granted, it's not the same TPU, but as that temperature increases, and if you're talking about plastics and rubbers and things like that, if it's made out of plastic when it could have been made out of metal, that's good maybe for trying to keep weight down. But if you're thinking about longevity, that you might want to consider something that might be of a little bit more quality.
The Silka stuff, they just like, this is what they do. Yeah. They make the best pumps. They make, I mean, like this is, for me, I there's no way that they're going to put their name on a little mini pump like this unless it's like, this thing is something you're going to have around for a while.
And if there's 50 different options out there, like I personally,
you probably pay more.
I would pay more because I'm going to go into the mindset of buy nice or buy twice, because that's maybe going to be a problem with some of these. So that might take it from 50 down to 10, but at least I'm like thinking long term. Like I want this thing to last for a long time, and it's not going to last forever. No,
it's the same with the Silka. I've now got a Silka track pump, floor pump, which is really nice, and it's got the metal thread on chuck, and it's never an issue with it. And I've had track pumps in the past with the quick release plastic rubber thing, and inevitably after a while those things break down.
And what I love about Silka too is for like that pump, for example, things are likely going to wear out at some point. You can get all of the small
parts,
replacement parts, as opposed to like, all right, this needs a trash. Go fill up the landfill, buddy. I'm going to go spend my money on another one. Whereas you can just go buy like a seal or like a gauge or something like that might have broken. You're good. Back on business. They're expensive though.
They are expensive.
I mean,
it's great stuff. Super expensive.
You're looking at maybe like the entry point's gonna be right around $100 for one of the Silka pumps, and they only go up from there. I think there's some that are like $450, but
I feel like it's basically double the price.
$129 for the micro. The ultimate is $160. So they have two sizes at the moment. Silka does.
And they're probably aiming for road, just like you mentioned before, road cyclists and mountain bike, just tire size.
Shameless plug, their own sale at Dial Cycling Lab right now.
What? They're on sale?
Just saying. Yeah.
Why?
I've heard of
the holidays, dude.
Silka's doing some holidays.
Taking care of all the cycling peoples.
Nice.
Yeah. So, any other stocking stuffers? How about you, LeGrand? You got anything that's cycling or maybe even non-cycling related?
I would love like a telephoto lens. I still don't have one. It's been multiple years that I just...
you're always welcome to borrow mine, but I do
but this
know the
is
thing
more
of
like
I want my own.
Yeah, this would be to have as one, because I want to take pictures of like swim meets and stuff. And like there'll be randomly some like owl just sitting on the back of our, like in our back, because we live pushed up against the woods. So it's just stuff like that where I'm like, I really would love to be able to just pull up a telephoto lens really quickly before this owl flies off and get a decent photo.
So
silly
like
stuff like that. That's
Sony 70 to 200 G Master 2 f2.8 is only going to set you back just shy of $4,000. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 36 or something like that.
I saw it on sale somewhere at like Walmart.
Was that the old one though, or is it the new?
I think it might have been mislabeled, because everywhere it's like $4,000, and then all of a sudden it was like at Walmart it was like 2,500. I was like, that seems like surprisingly off.
That's probably the original, not the G2.
But it was labeled Gen 2. So I'm thinking to myself, like, they made a mistake.
They got to honor that crap. So
I know. Anyway, so cycling wise, I don't feel like I need that much. I get pressure from people to like, get back on the time trial bike. Let's go do, some beaches and some different rides that way.
I missed that ride.
I know. And I would love to do some of that stuff. The bike that they're pressuring me to ride will never ride again. That bike is done. So there's all this like, just get new handlebars. But I'm like, it's the brakes. It's all this other stuff. That's just like,
Your TT bike?
My TT bike, which has it was a great bike over the years. I would love to have like a little bit better setup for flat repairs, because recently when I've gone out biking, I've just been like, screw it, I'll just call my wife if there's a problem. And I'm not doing that much, so it's just like here and there. And I'll just like, usually when I'm leaving, if she's around, I'm like, okay, make sure your phone's on. And she knows she wants to be like in the loop. So I don't know, better flat repair would be a good setup for sure. I think that's a really good Christmas gift for people.
What
to consider?
Do you have a Dynaplug kit?
Yeah,
Are you
I think
you're
so.
tubeless on your
yes,
road
tubeless, and I just need to go back through my kit, and because you guys know how like if you go through and you have a flat, you kind of like go back and kind of remake your kit or whatever. It's like mine's just been sitting in the garage like on the shelf, and like it's not like put together, and so I need to go back and be like, okay, I need to have a tube in here. Like so, I probably need
tube. You need a TPU tube.
Do I need a TPU tube, or because like I don't care about the weight and I don't care about the size?
Okay. Then you don't need a TPU tube.
I just get cheap tubes. Just give me some cheap
other
tubes.
tubes are like $4.
Right. That's where I'm at. Pink padded weights and
padded weights
and butyrol tubes.
1 pound tubes.
What about those
my
new
tubes weigh more than my weights that I lift.
You can use your tubes for your work.
Yes.
What about those new drones? You can actually fit in the cycling jersey pockets.
Those look super
Whip
cool.
it out from your back pocket, and
they are not going to keep up with you guys. They might keep up with me on the bike. They might not keep up with you guys on the bike.
You could take it out like on a gravel ride if you're doing some
they're not
climbing.
fast
Or,
enough.
If you're going uphill.
Yeah, going uphill.
Yeah.
Not in the
If you're going
woods.
uphill.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that's exhilarating to watch.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. I'm thinking like 10 mile an hour is kind of the sweet spot. If you go much further than that, it's gonna
There
struggle.
have been a few that have come out, but they're not DJI, correct? Because I mean, DJI is effectively banned in the United States now.
Right.
So
What's
are-
DJI?
I think DJI
they're
does
like
make one.
the primary, the big dog
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of
In terms of drones, yes.
Yeah.
I think DJI does make a little follow drone, and I can't remember what it's called.
It's like a little like square looking thing.
Neo 2?
Yeah,
The
something like
Neo 2, is that the one? That's
Sounds
the
about
one that
right.
I think is like the one to get. But anyway, yeah, no new drones for me, I don't think. I literally don't. Was I talking about this before the podcast? I was like, my wife doesn't really have anything for me. I don't think I'm going to get much for Christmas. Maybe I've been bad this year. Maybe it's Cole.
Yeah, you have.
Maybe it's Cole. Cole's a coming. So it'll be great. But we always do like little stuff. Like there's always like toothbrush, toothpaste in the stockings for you guys that are thinking about like what could we put in stockings for kids and things.
Toothpaste, really?
Yeah, because like you just need stuff. You just need deodorant. Like it's just like that stuff just for
Socks
us,
and underwear.
Socks and underwear. Go back to the basics, people.
That's right.
Go back to the basics. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from that question, let's take a look back at this year real quick. And I'm curious, like, what would you guys say your biggest triumphs were for 2025? You guys had a lot on the calendar. You did a lot of stuff. Cycling or non-cycling related, I'm sure everybody had some pretty cool triumphs. What would you say? What was the biggest thing you got there, Mr. Lance Hepler? Because I think you were probably the most prolific of everybody. What about 25 really, like, it doesn't even have to be like on paper, this is the biggest thing, but what's the thing that like in the back of your head is the first thing that jumps out? Like, I'm really proud of this. This was awesome for me. I was like proud of the outcome of this. Even you could have come in second to last place, but what was your biggest triumph?
There are two things that come to mind. One was almost breaking 4 hours for a century at the El Tour
That's
de
cool.
Tucson. I mean, averaging 24 and a half miles an hour for a 100-mile ride. That was not something that I thought I would be capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wasn't that difficult. I'm saying that's in air quotes as I say that. So that kind of stands out. The other thing was I won several gravel races, and it wasn't just because I was the fastest descender or the best climber. I think I played my cards a little better than I have in the past. Now,
Just
when
like strategically,
strategically.
like you raced well.
Racecraft, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a little more racecraft.
That's
And-
almost more fun than just kind of going out and pedal to the metal and like, I was faster than the other people that were here. When you've got that, but you can mix it with some racecraft, that's going to push the result even better or be the cause of the result that you have. That's fun.
It's that was very satisfying for me to have that happen. And for me, racecraft, I know I'm not going to be the fastest climber, so it was not blowing myself up trying to stay with the faster guys, knowing that there's a descent coming and that I would probably be able to pull them back, but it would take a heavy effort on the descent to pull them back. And then it happened. Yeah. And then I'm with the group again. And then I still have a few extra matches and was able to sprint or make some efforts at the end on sections of the course, which favored me and was able to gap them.
Like a Lance of maybe like 3 or 4 years ago probably would have played his cards a little bit differently, probably tried to stay with that lead group, blew himself up, and then they would have effectively run away and you wouldn't have had anything in the tank to go chase them down.
Or if I caught them on the descent, I would have had nothing left in the last 5 miles to play another card.
Gotcha. Good job.
And this year there were 3 races that I can think of that happened.
Well done.
That ended up winning my age group. So
how about you, Gibbo?
Yeah, I've had an unremarkable year, results-wise, in races. I don't. Maybe I won one gravel race back in March, maybe, but a couple of second places. Nothing really too outstanding. I think overall, though, I was happy with the way a lot of the year went by. I was proud of how I did perform. Lance and I were at a couple of big races down for us, at least, national level races in in Arizona early in the year, and to hold your own against those kind of fields and feel like you belong in those fields and that you know, it wasn't above you. I thought that was, I was proud of that. The one achievement I can think of was when I was back in Garmisch, Germany. This summer, there is this one hill. It's called the Eibsee, and it's a 3 kilometer, 2 mile climb, about a sort of a 12-minute effort. And to actually go and try on the KOM for that and beat my time that I remember laying down in my first ever race when I would be like 21, 22. So
wow.
I at 64, beating my 22-year-old self up this same climb, I felt really good about that.
That doesn't surprise me. You're pretty fit right now. I mean, like you've been in good shape this year, and
no, I was feeling good. I mean, the one thing I can say is back in 1983 or whenever it was, my bike weighed like 25 pounds, and I was running like a 42-23 gearing setup,
and you weren't biking as much back then, probably.
No, I mean, I
different?
was, but
just a different.
Probably not the same. Yeah,
you probably did some more like fun trip bike things and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wasn't as serious, but you know, back then when I was in my 20s, you knew I could have. You know, you look back on those days and you're like, I could have been somebody, or I could have really, if I put the same effort in back then as I do now. Instead of just sort of stemming the deterioration, I'd be actually making improvements and being really good. And I never had that.
It's amazing.
Back in my 20s, I didn't have that kind of drive, and I didn't have that kind of dedication that I do now.
It's amazing what these kids can do. Like, you're just go do a little run, and they're just like, and now I'm fast. Like, that was just one run, dude. And you're like, I'm fast now.
And I was partying and drinking lots of beer and just doing stuff that people in their 20s do. And
so the same as this year.
Yeah. But even so, like when I look at that and I was pushing 300 watts up that climb for 10, 15 minutes, it was good. It was satisfying. Put it that way.
Nice.
Good
job.
Maddie.
I wouldn't say I've got a lot of, it's not been an amazing year athletically or goal-oriented stuff.
No, but you had some pretty big things, if you ask me, that maybe it doesn't fall under the guise of you personally doing stuff, but like the stuff that you've been able to do with like your cross-country team.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's probably the highlight for sure of my year. Is I think that the coaches have done a really good job this year of making it a good season for the team. As many disagreeing parties as there are out there, there's a lot of parents and things like that think that we do a horrible job, but I can look at it and be like, no, we did a good job. Like, we did a really good job of making it fun and bringing a ton of people together, and then also getting these kids to run faster for a long period of time. And it's been a long go of it too, because we're doing track stuff, and then we start in the summer doing stuff, and then we do trips and camps and all this stuff, and it just ends up being a lot of stuff. And so it's more and more and more stuff every year. It's like so overwhelming, but it is a good setup. It's a good experience for these kids, at least for this block of time. So we were successful too. We've done better this year than we have in the past, and we've got individuals that have run really well. Yeah. So,
just looking at it from an outside, I mean, I know what it's like to have to like deal with all of that parental noise. I mean, parents now are more loud and boisterous and difficult than ever.
Yeah.
So you're able to tune out that noise. And then second to that, you're able to plug into a group of kids who are in that 14 to 18-year-old range that, again, can be extremely difficult. And they're not always out there with the best intentions. They're not always out there with the right mindset. And they've got all of their things and dramas and challenges. You're able to tune all of that out even. And then you get to like the core of being able to inspire these kids.
Would you say by tuning it out means I'm waking up at 2 a.m. in the morning, frustrated with some stupid thing that some parent or kid said, and
that's a part of tuning it out, because you're processing it, and you're processing it, and you're kind of making it make sense, and then you're setting it aside, and then you're figuring out a constructive way to address that so that it doesn't become an even bigger problem, and you're trying to make everybody happy. But at the end of the day, you're able to plug into these kids and give them what they truly need, and you're inspiring them, and they're doing awesome, and you guys are showing year over year progress. not that Canvas has been a problem in the past,
No.
or they've
We have
always
a
had
ton of
crappy
success
ton
over
of
the years,
success.
yeah.
But I mean, there was a passing of the torch, like one coaching regimen to another, and you came at it with your own style, your own flavor, and your own Matt's touch, and it's going to be different than what it was before. So you're showing continued success, which seems like it's actually showing some growth as well. So I just want to say good job.
We're doing okay.
Yeah.
Doing okay over there.
Big triumph. What about on the YouTube side of things? What was your favorite video from this year? Which one did the best, and which one surprised you the most?
I don't know which one did the best. Probably the Garmin Phoenix 8 after 100 days. So the watch that you're wearing, you're probably wearing.
Mm-hmm.
That video did well. And that's great. I get really happy and excited that I get invited to go down to Apple to do those events, because those are special events.
That means you're on the radar, dude. That's fantastic.
I'm on a radar. I don't know whose
not
radar.
Seeking me out. I mean,
Awesome.
But yeah, so I mean, those things I think are just like neat experiences that you like kind of think back on, like, oh, this year was cool. I did this thing or whatever, and it was just a really cool experience to go down there and like you're just like hanging out with just these crazy
chilling with Marquez Brownlee.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that stuff is super cool. And So I am hopeful that. I mean, I probably wouldn't expect me to go every year, but maybe it's every other year, every couple of years or something like that. And we'll see. That's something that I hope to continue to do.
Did you have a favorite video you made this year?
Nothing comes to mind. Literally nothing comes to mind, which is kind of weird.
I don't think we saw Chester this year.
No,
That's
I mean,
disappointing.
That is disappointing. Those are super fun videos to make. It's just that I've been so behind all year, and it's taking me longer and longer to make stuff. And sometimes I just feel like I'm slacking. Like I'm like, when do I need? Because I kind of like write out what I want to do, and that takes so much time, and I just feel like I'm putting it off. So in some ways, things are not good in that department.
Can I make a request?
Sure.
Can you make a video that's not on April Fool's Day?
Just
featuring Chester,
just something
doing
ridiculous.
just
totally
a random thing. Just Matt's on vacation. He's down there playing with them Apple folks, and Chester makes a video.
That would be amazing. I'll take it into account for sure.
Yeah. If you want to, Lance can kind of
I'll need Lance.
Lance can be a part of it, and we can come over and help co-produce it. And
oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was some video that I made that was totally random, and I think it was like water quality for the triathletes that were swimming.
Oh yeah, for the Olympics.
For the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was this year or when that might have been last year. So I'm not sure if this falls into the right category. But I remember thinking like, this video is very different from what the stuff that I make, and I was happy with.
That was excellent. It was.
I go back and I'm like, oh, it's not as good as I remember it. But thinking to myself like, this was just different, and I thought that
was journalism. Yeah,
it was. It was just a different take, and I kind of like doing stuff like that. And I've even been planning to be like, okay, there's like 8 videos that I want to make as part of a series of videos that aren't necessarily like watch related.
Yeah,
and I'm going to call the series "What Makes the Tech Tick," and it is going to be kind of like. That's, I think, the way to do it, right? Where it's like, if you're going to do different content, if it kind of at least subtly relates to
what makes the tech tick. How can we make that a little bit better? Can you have Tourette's with your little Tourette's tick in there?
Yes.
Can you?
But there's
have
like
a cousin.
There's topics. There's topics like GPS, like how does GPS work and all this stuff, and like how is it like the history of GPS and things like the super interesting things, and lots of different things that kind of subtly relate to the main topic of the channel. So maybe this is something to try to aim for 2026. The problem is I've just got like at least a dozen videos that are just like need to get out the door. Oh, so I need to get stuff. I need to get my ass in gear is the problem.
I love it when you do that kind of stuff. The journalism stuff's fun when you let your like real humor shine with the Chester stuff, and especially when you have like your own personal anecdotes. Those are great. Like the stories that you can tell, like that's the Matt that I know. I'm like, oh, I love this. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to do that when you're like just talking to a camera. It's a lot easier to do that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if you have someone else that you're working with.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Anything else, guys? Do you guys have any other triumphs?
How about you?
Jake?
Triumphs? I didn't die.
There you
that
go.
was a pretty good triumph. I did ride a bike last weekend. That's a bit of a triumph. I think the biggest thing that I'm probably the most proud of was finally just pulling the trigger and going back and recreating our entire website on a whole brand new platform. And we had to doesn't sound like much, but you have no idea how much that was to go from, I guess, one system that was comprised of two systems, and then having to consolidate that down into one system and bring it over to a new system and make that all make sense and work and make it all like kind of function. I was pretty proud of that. And the fact that I'm able to look at it now and see what it's doing and how well it's working, I'm like kind of kicking myself. You should have done this a long time ago, but there's no time like the present. But I'm super happy with the results thus far. I am actually blown away because like one of the things that I wanted to make sure that the Dialed Cycling Lab had was a strong online presence so that we can take care of people all over the place, because I have my concerns about the strength and the viability of a lot of these like small local bike shops. I mean, it's only going to be more and more difficult with them as, you know, more and more stuff goes online. And if you don't have that setup, and then not only have it set up, but set up to work and function right, you're just not going to survive. And just thinking about like the last 5 years, how many bike shops just here locally in the greater Portland area, how many bike shops have gone out of business?
And rumors of more going out of business.
Oh yeah. And then you're seeing them popping up for sale. There's another one that just popped up for sale. I was like, okay, these guys are all struggling, and I don't ever want to struggle. And I've always had a different mindset with how the business was put together, how it was built, and like the philosophies that I've always subscribed to. So I don't want that ever to happen. And I know what we need to do to kind of future-proof it. And this was one of those steps. I can't even begin to tell you like how happy I am about making that decision, because it's killing. Like I don't know. I mean, I generally don't like to talk about stuff too much, and I'm not going to get into like dollar figures, but we had our best month ever. I think it was maybe earlier this year. I think it had 75 collective orders for the entire month, which is pretty stinking good. You know, I'm stoked
for a
about
local
that.
bike shop to get 75 orders in a month online.
And that's good. You know, that's not including the stuff that we did, you know, in the shop too. So that's pretty solid, right? I'm like, all right. But we're still dealing with problems, and there's all these things that are going up and down, and that number would fluctuate. And like, all right, we're on 75, we're on our track to have this work out. And then like you'll hit 3 months in a row where you're like 35, 40, 45, 30, and like, all right, something's wrong here. There's disconnect. And so I kind of went back and looked at everything. I'm like, these are the things that we need to do. Fast forward for the last 30 days, I'm looking at the live number. Lance kind of knows this, so I don't think he's able to. But how many online orders do you think we've completed in the last 30 days?
Well, this is a prime shopping time, so I'm going to be bold and just say 80.
Okay, 80. And then for reference, like I said, I think it's my memory could be off or whatnot, but I think it was like in maybe April or May of this year is when we saw that 75. This time last year, our online orders were okay, probably in that like 35 to 50 range.
Yeah.
So you said 80.
75. I don't know.
314.
Oh,
nice.
So we're trending. We're going in the right direction.
Yes.
And we're starting to get that reach. And it's fun interacting with these people too. And a lot of people don't know this. If you've placed an order, you probably know this, but I write a little personal thank you to everybody, because I've actually been the one that's having to process all these orders right now for a lot of different reasons, but that will eventually change. But writing a personal thank you to everybody, it only takes a split second. And then there are certain orders that have come through. I'm like, that is a really cool order. And, you know, they paid damn near close to full price. And I know that there's other people out there that are selling this stuff. And I'm appreciative of the fact that they found us. So I'll throw something special in there. It might be a Park Tool spork. It might be a pair of socks. It might be a couple like gels or something like that. But it's just like, hey, honestly, thank you. I appreciate that. So just getting noticed is fun. So I'm having fun with it. I'm proud of that.
Good.
That's
good.
That's my proud point. But so yeah. Cool. Kind of looking forward to seeing what happens in 2026, because
rolling.
It's going to be in the new space. Got our new studio that we're going to have.
It's going to be a big year.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to ride a bike too. That'd be cool. The last quick question, just run around the table. You had your triumphs. What was your biggest obstacle? What was the thing you're like, crap, that sucked? That maybe was a good learning thing. Did you guys have anything along those lines? Lance is thinking quickly. Ian's staring at Lance. Matt's staring at the ceiling. These guys all crushed this year, so I guess there were no true obstacles unless you.
I had a pretty good year, but I tend to overtrain. I tend to do too much and don't allow myself to actually reap the gains from the training, and so I can think of a time or two where I tanked where I really shouldn't have.
Yeah,
but
learning though.
Yes,
you're getting slightly better each year. So by the time you turn 70, you'll finally get it.
That's like next week, right?
That's right. put in the grave.
I did the 100-mile challenge for the dial thing last year, which was super awesome. I'm proud of myself for doing that. But then I didn't do anything with it. Like I didn't like go and do anything, right? Like not that like I had super fitness, right? Because it's just, and I do a lot of the bare minimum. It's like, just get your hour in or whatever. But there's some fitness there. And I should have been like, okay, well, next is, a 100-mile ride or even a 50-mile, whatever it is, like something that would have been like better than nothing. Gotcha. So I think that's a fail.
Gotcha. How about you, Gibbo?
What's been holding me back, really, I guess, is my right knee tendinopathy. It's just one of those things that just gets in the way of.
Sure.
It's not life threatening. It's not.
Did you do anything to make it worse that you're like, you knucklehead?
No, not really. But I know how to make it worse if I overdo it in the gym or if I try to get out of the saddle when I shouldn't. And I don't know. I mean, I know I spoke about this before, but it's really been enlightening how when I look objectively at my power output, what a huge difference it's making on how much I can put down to the pedals.
Yeah.
And I never realized that now until, like I've said before, now I've got power for both legs.
Yep.
Wow, what a difference.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely holding me back. Yeah.
Yep. And my real quick was I've finally figured out that working 70 to 80 hour weeks is not sustainable for long periods of time. So I'm going to try and parlay that mindset into 2026 and not do that again, because I burn myself out. But we don't need to go down that path. All right. That was fun. Thank you, gentlemen. How about some one last thing business, and we'll let you guys get on with your day. Matt's got his mouth full of chocolate over here.
They don't even try to take on the one last thing. It's always on my shoulders to be the first one.
He's sucking down one of the Hepler chocolates at
the Hoopler. The Hooplers. They make good chocolate over there. So next video is going to be a comparison between the Coros Pace 4 and the Coros Pace Pro and the Garmin Forerunner 165. I don't think a lot of our listeners are going to care about that video as much as the next video after that, which will be the Apple Ultra 3 after 100 days. So that video always does well on my channel. I'll try to put a little extra time into the editing and make that somewhat fun, because I do enjoy that part of it, the editing aspect of it, and kind of whatever, fun transitions or something fun like that. So those videos are coming up. Tune into the channel. The website you would go to is youtube.com/mlegrand to find the channel if you want to subscribe and watch a lot of videos about watches and fun stuff.
I've got a question.
Sure.
And it utterly screams cycling. What's on the docket for Apple in 2026? Do they have anything like neat coming out that you know of? I heard somebody say at some point in time that they've got a bunch of like more than normal amount of new products coming out. Well, like upgrades to product, but they've also got some brand new products coming to market. And the guy was kind of coy, but I think it was one of those Mac rumor websites that generally has a little bit more credibility. And then I just never watched a follow-up video it was like a short, I think is what I saw. And I never watched the follow-up video to see what that might be, because I think that was like a teaser to get them to go watch the other.
They have computers coming up.
Sure.
So that's probably what they're looking at, talking about, like the iMac Pro, things like that, which is not that exciting.
But they come out with that almost, not every year, but pretty somewhat regular. Is there anything out there though that was like you've heard?
Glasses are eventually going to come out. Apple glasses, which will be a big.
What about the Vision Pro? Is that just a
Vision Pro? They did. It was a flop, and then they upgraded it with a new processor.
So they came out with a second version of that.
I don't even know if they called it the Vision Pro 2 or what, but they updated the processor.
Like an S model of it.
They might have just
quietly snuck it in there, and that's what they're selling now.
New
Same thing.
processor upgrade. But I don't think that product is doing well. I think what they've done is they basically ripped all the engineering effort out of that product, and they're focusing on glasses.
Gotcha. So that you don't look like a buffoon walking around with that on.
Or
trying to use it
more because they're seeing like Meta or Facebook, right? So they've got glasses. They've got a partnership with Ray-Ban.
Sure.
And there are some successful-ish products out there, and so there's a lot of pressure for Apple to be part of the punch.
Anything else new other than glasses that
they're very regular about having a September timeframe new watches, and so they'll do that. And they do the phones at the same time, so it's just kind of like there's a big push for AI from them because they have not done a good job with that. Siri in particular is kind of like this black eye for Apple, thinking like, hey, man, we got this really crappy AI assistants on our phone, and Google's going
heard recently
crazy.
True that Apple and Google just had an agreement where Gemini is now going to run Siri?
That's the rumor.
Yeah.
I think it's still rumor, but yeah, that's probably going to happen because they basically realized that they don't have the engineering talent to take Siri and change it, and so they're probably going to have use of Gemini within the iOS operating system.
Yeah,
which would be interesting.
I mean, they have incorporated in the Chat GPT now. Basically, it's just Siri handing things over to Chat GPT to go answer your questions, but it's
not great.
It's a little disjointed.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. It's not great. I think they're looking at Google, and I think Google has got everything that they need to do a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, they own the whole stack, right? You know, they make chips and they have server
Mm-hmm.
farms, and they've got a lot of AI talent.
If you're not paying attention to the AI wars out there right now, you're like, it is going at light speed right now in terms of like the progressions and the updates and the new features coming out. And it's like, it's a big heavyweight battle between ChatGPT, between Gemini. You've got Grok, and what's the other one? Is it Perplexity maybe? Or
you're thinking Anthropic.
Anthropic.
They make a Claude and like
Gotcha.
a couple other.
Exactly. So these guys are so competitive right now, and they're throwing so much time, money, and resources at these things. And the end product is pretty cool, and it's progressing at such a massive rate of speed. It's almost concerning about how good it's getting, how fast it's getting, and how at this rate, it's like, all right, when is this actually going to become a full-fledged problem? So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's getting better and better and better. And it's just, I think that we're still way behind on using the tools that they're coming up with. So it'll be exciting.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with some of the
I
tools
don't,
that they're rolling out.
It doesn't feel to me like we're creating a living online being. Like there's a lot of fear of this stuff. Doesn't feel like that's been the direction that things are going. It's just getting, like the AI is just getting better.
Yeah.
It's just incrementally better.
Yeah.
So
But just think about how much it's changed. I mean, we did this podcast 2 or 3 years ago about ChatGPT.
Yes, right.
Look at how much it's changed just since in a 3-year time period.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking back at that, and that's not like preschool, and we're like, you know, PhD level people with 50 years of experience.
And it's completely changed. I think it changes random industries, but like software, it's completely changed in the past like 3 years. It's completely changed the industry.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry for the tangent there.
AI rant. 2026 is going to be a big year for AI.
Yeah, I'm waiting for an iPad to come out that kind of functions as a MacBook Pro as well. I want that dual integration. I don't think we need those two different separate SKUs. I want them to be one. So, but
yeah, I could see that.
I was hoping you were
see that
coming out, but I'll have to be patient. All right, Gibbo, one last thing, bud.
Right. Well, it sounds kind of cheesy, but I'm just thankful that I can put so much thought and effort and time into my cycling. Like obviously on my hierarchy of needs, I'm at the top, the self-fulfillment. I'm just incredibly feel lucky to be there. We've had some of our teammates have received sort of devastating news. Or there's one guy that has been in a life-altering accident with a car. Who, I mean, just keep thinking about that. And then two of my former clients actually have just had really devastating cancer diagnoses. Right, so it just makes you aware of how quickly cycling can become unimportant.
Yep.
Right, all of a sudden it feels like a luxury to be able to dedicate yourself to this trivia in a way, and how
but it gives so much back.
Yes, absolutely.
You wouldn't have these relationships without it.
No.
You wouldn't have your fitness and the stories without it. But I do understand what you're saying. It does bring everything into perspective.
Yeah. And so my heart goes out to these guys. I wish them all the best.
Yeah, and you know who you are, and I know
Yeah.
some of them listen, and I'm thinking about you too. So cool. All right, well, appreciate that. Hep.
I would just encourage people to find our GoFundMe page for our Bikes for Kids fundraiser. We have some money in there to do some good, but we are nowhere near the goal that we want to. We want to reach a goal where we can help a whole lot more kids and gift some brand new bike to some kids. You can find that either on the Dialed Cycling Lab webpage or There's a link in my latest YouTube video about the Ugly Christmas sweater ride. The link is in the description there. So one of those two things would be great.
Yeah, I think we've got to post it up on our socials too. You can find the link in there. And I'll actually be pushing that out again and putting it in more obvious places and really kind of start the whole process of like, hey, can you help us kind of a thing. It doesn't have to be much.
No.
You know, some people just do $1, $5, $10, $20, just fine. And some people are super generous. So it's it all comes together and it all goes to a good cause. So appreciate that. I think for me, my one last thing is going to be looking forward to Christmas. I love the Christmas time. You can kind of tell when you walk into my house, it looks like Christmas threw up all over it. It's fun. And it's getting to be one of those things where I appreciate it even more because I've got kids coming home from, college. Mm-hmm. My daughter just flew in last night. I am not one, I generally can't make it past like 9:30 at night. And we picked up at 11 o'clock last night and, you just go do what you got to do. And, you get to bed and it's 11:30, 12 o'clock. And my brain doesn't care if I went to bed at that time. I still wake up at the same time. So I think I'm functioning about 4 hours of sleep right now. But it's totally worth it. Do it again every day. But I'm looking forward to some downtime. I'm looking forward to the family being here. And I'm looking forward to, disconnecting and just spending time. So that's my one last thing. You guys, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Do you think we can do one more of these before the end of the year? Maybe, possibly.
Maybe.
Are you around? Are you?
I'm around.
Okay, you around? Get
Yeah.
Let's
I mean, life should be. I'm with you on the Christmas. Like life should be chill.
Yeah.
For the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm all in on that. And
we'll see.
If you're listening to this and you're still here, damn it, go send us some chain mail stuff.
Oh yes,
send us some
for you. We'll do a whole one. If you guys send a whole bunch of them, we'll just dedicate it to all your questions. Awesome. So, cool. All right. Thank you for listening. We will be back with another one of these one day. And until then,
What happens when Santa moves his hips?
What?
Jingle balls.
What is Santa's favourite place to deliver presents to?
Where?
Idaho, ho, ho.
What did Santa change his nickname to when he was declared bankrupt?
What?
St. Nicholas.
How is Christmas exactly like your job?
How?
You do all the work and some fat guy in a suit gets all the credit. What do you call an obnoxious reindeer?
What?
Rude! Oh.